What's good, y'all? It's your man, DJ Real One, and I am in the building with episode number 10.
Yes, sir.
Of Belgian Beer and Beats. And
good?
We have the one and only Catch 22 in the building.
What's good?
Thank you for joining me, man. Long ride here from San Antonio, I believe.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Is that where you are nowadays?
Yes, sir. San Antonio. TX, right? South Texas in the building.
So basically, it's always a special presentation, a special time when he is in the building. When we get together, it's going to be lit. We're going to have a good time. And so you know what that means, Catch.
I already know.
You know what that means.
The poor master's about to do his thing. If y'all don't know, I said it a couple years ago. Coined this man. Perfect title, The Poor Master. There it is.
And ever since then, I've been rolling with it. But what happens when you call me the Poor Master? The pressure was on. So the pressure was on. So what we have today, we have a very special bottle that I've never seen before anywhere. I've been holding this bottle for like 3 years. This is the St. Bernardus ABT 12, the Magnum Edition, people.
Let's go.
You see it right there. Now what's nice about this bottle is that I believe every year they release this bottle with some very nice artwork on here. So this specific bottle has a piece from Burt Ramakers. I'm sure you know him well.
Oh yeah, got a whole collection.
And this is the Panamericano Around the World in 80 Years. That is the portrait that you see. We will show that right there. And I'm not going to read the story on the bottom, but I will tell you this bottle is from 2021 and it's been aged for 4 years. So if you know anything about Belgian beer, you know that they're just like a wine. They can be aged. And I brought the heat for you today, man.
I appreciate it. You know your other nickname as well as Poor Master?
What is that?
King of Exclusives.
Hey!
There it is. There it is. King of Exclusives right here, y'all.
So when you talk exclusives, you got to talk about a 4-year-old bottle of Belgian beer. We don't know what to expect from this.
Hope it's good.
The aging process is crazy, man. So, I mean...
Let me give you your props, too, by the way. Yeah. Everybody watching, this man knows what he's talking about. He hit me to the game. I would say I'm novice at best, but everything he suggested, top notch, good stuff.
Thank you, sir.
So much respect there.
I appreciate that. That means a lot, you know, because it's almost like a hobby to me now, just like record collecting. You know, as you can see, we have the glassware. We have this bottle I'm probably going to save. I usually don't save bottles, but this artwork is amazing, so I'm probably going to save this one. And every time you come over, you'll remember when you were on episode 10.
Yes, sir.
Of Belgian Beer and Beats. So with that being said, man, number one, like I say, every episode you need your glassware. There it is, the St. Bernardus glass. And I only have one of those, believe it or not. So I picked up a similar glass with the round top, very similar. And I think we're talking too much, man.
Pour up.
Pour up. Don't be scared, man.
Now, I do have a question while you do that. Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
I see that this is refrigerated.
Yeah.
Should that be? Is there a temp it needs to sit at?
That's a great question. So according to this bottle, if you on the back of these bottles, it says right there, so 52 to 56 degrees Fahrenheit. So your refrigerator is 32. So this has been sitting out for about 10 minutes. So it's probably about 40 degrees right now. So
okay.
As
Perfect.
it sits in the glass, it will warm up and the flavor palette will change. So that's what we're looking for.
Dropping gems already.
And this is where the pressure's on, man, because he gave me the name Poor Master. So there's only one thing to do. So we have the St. Bernardus AB 12, aged for 4 years. You can see the color is very dark. You cannot see through that. That's a very strong beer. It's 10%. With that being said, he's like, stop talking, let's sip. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just waiting.
Cheers, sir.
Hey,
Thank
cheers.
you.
It's surprisingly light. I thought it was
kind of shocked
heavy.
too. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be heavier than that, but it's surprisingly light.
And the traditional version of this is usually a little bit stronger. Maybe because of the aging, maybe it's not as strong as the regular bottle. We're not going to do it today, but it would be kind of cool to compare the two side by side, like a new one versus an older one. But I really enjoy the flavor right off the bat.
It's not bitter.
It's not bitter at all. So when you have this beer, in my last episode, I asked DJ Soundwave, I asked him, when you have this beer, what does it remind you of? Does it bring back any feelings, any memories?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The first thing I did taste was more of like... not like oak, that's kind of corny to say, but
it's not, because sometimes they're in oak barrels.
Yeah. So I kind of taste that. And as far as memories, I don't know why, but I always go back to, and I know this is different. I mean, it was a blue moon, so it's close, right? As you can get to domestic Betty's Blue Star Lounge. And I wasn't a beer drinker back then, so
and I don't think I was either.
That was kind of like a new thing. And I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember how they used to pour those? They had these long glasses, and they would like, it was a whole routine. Like I couldn't really describe why they were doing it. Maybe it was just for show, but like I remember they would do the glass.
Yep, like this.
Yes.
And then kind of, I don't know if they're warming the glass up.
I had no idea. I was just trying to get crunk, to be honest.
He's like, he said, hurry up with my drink. I ain't got time for that.
But it was kind of cool. So that's when I tasted this. That's what that
brought back that memory.
That memory came back to Betty's Blue Star Lounge.
So this is the beer. We can honestly, he's seen my episodes, he's messaged me, and he's told me before, can you shorten that thing, man? Can you get more? Hey, we keeping it real, man. Can you keep it, get some more music related stuff going on? You call this Belgian beer and beats. Okay, I see the beer. Looks good. Makes me want to drink one. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the music.
Yes, sir.
So, excellent beer. After visiting my guy DJ Soundwave, if you watch that episode, you will see he pulled out 3 random records. So I have a surprise for you.
Okay, let's go.
We are not going to talk too much history. We have a lot of history to talk about. He might join me on a future episode, but I got a surprise for him. So when we talk about me and Catch 22's history, DJing in Chicago, 4 turntables, cassettes, CDs, mixtapes, records, which you see behind us, that is not the surprise. But if you look behind you, you have all of your releases.
Yes, dope. Thank you for showcasing.
We got the Catch 22 Get On Something. We got the Pugs Adam Man of the People. This is something we released in 2023. That is Pugs Adams Mookie on the South Side. That is my first vinyl release, by the way. Up there, we got EC Illa, Seed, Stems, and Gems. You have a track on there. That's an honor to be on that.
100%. When I hit EC up and he was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, much props to EC. Like just being down, you know. I mean. And
then behind on your right shoulder, we have the Erratic Static, Keep Rocking.
Yeah, and that's the first release on vinyl for Headnock Records, and it's actually Headnock Records' very first release. So I think when I see this, at least to me, and I know we're not gonna tell stories, but these are all my people in Chicago, right? I think classically Chicago's, at least at that time, was known for like not being very collaborative and kind of being haters.
Yes.
So I was always excited to do music or do business and music with the people that supported me and where we supported each other. So that definitely brings back memories. I think about all those conversations and different situations, and like all of this spans like over 25 years. So that's like another thing.
They were not hard to find. I have a whole and also over your right shoulder, I have a whole section of just Chicago. So like those are in there. When I think of Chicago hip hop, I think of these artists here. So that is not the surprise though, because that was in your face when you walk in the room.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Are y'all ready for it? So shout out my guy DJ Soundwave once again, because he gave me a great idea on the last episode where we were going to pull out 3 records and tell the story about those records.
Any story?
Oh, you're going to see.
There might be multiple stories for one record.
But guess what? When he sees these,
drum roll.
We're going to start with this one because this is a fun one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
So let me show them out there. So this is MOP, Pounds Up. Of course, you had to have 2 of them. So I'm going to put this right here while you tell them a little bit about Pounds Up and why did I pull that record out.
Okay, so Actually, I didn't even know that DITC produced that, because I had a promo. The copies I had were promos,
copy?
and they didn't. They just said MOP pounds up. I don't know where we first started doing it, but there's probably beer or some kind of liquor involved.
That's why I brought it out.
You know, me and this guy, he's like my brother. We were okay being ourselves with each other, even if it was like kind of nerdy sometimes. I'm sure it probably was, but in our minds, we were cool. Regardless, we would be in a club. I think we were actually the only ones playing this song, to be honest with you. But it was so hype. Okay. Yeah, me and this man, we would just go around yelling and screaming. We already showed you the pounds up.
Well, what's funny is they probably didn't catch it, so we will have to show them again. So basically what would happen, we would play this on our radio show on Columbia College or other radio shows, WLUW, all over the place. We would play this. It wasn't necessarily exclusive. It just wasn't a hit like Annie Up. But we loved it. And we would go to the club. They weren't playing this. They might have been playing Jay-Z or something. But whatever they were playing, we thought we were so cool. We would walk around like this. Pounds up. Boom. We're getting a little older now.
It's softer.
Yeah. But back then, bam, and you almost broke your bone. So anyways, that is the first record. I thought you would appreciate that one.
No,
man.
That's good. That's a good start.
That's a good start. Okay.
But I didn't know DITC who was like, I'm assuming Diamond D or something.
That's a good question. I'd have to look up the credits. I'll put them below because a lot of times the cool thing back then, I don't want to say cool thing, but a lot of times they didn't give production credits.
Yeah.
Like that's a very modern era thing to do. You know, like especially with Alchemist, like he is everywhere, or us even. Catch-22 featuring so-and-so. Back then it was MOP. That's their record. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I'm going to look up...
Unless you got the album that had the liner notes in it and all that, but that's like another effort.
Like they weren't the stars.
Yeah.
Like producers weren't the stars back then.
For sure. No, that takes me back. That's a good one.
It's a good one. You didn't see that one coming? Okay, so...
No, I didn't. I did not see that one coming.
I started off with a bang. Now the second one, I want to talk about this one because this one is more something I'd like to talk about. Because back then, he would get a lot of promo copies that I might not have. So this record here, let me show them. This is the album. It's very beat up. You see it right there. A Tribe Called Quest, The Love Movement. This just brings back memories of you in every club, every party, playing Find a Way. Oh! Playing Find a Way, playing Like It Like That, and I could never play them.
Because you didn't have it.
I didn't have the record. He had the advanced copy, and surprise. Now, what I wanted to talk about this record is back then, if you had a DJ partner, whether it was Catch-22, DJ Score, Shabazz, shout out those guys right there.
Turnaround.
Turnaround. Shout out DJ Turnaround. If you had a DJ partner, they would have records you didn't have. To this day, when I go to his house, he has crates of records that I never bought. And the reason why is because I would call him at the store, like, hey, I'm at Gramophone. Do you have that new Tribe yet? Because we would spin together, I didn't need it.
Right.
I knew you were going to play the Tribe or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So I knew you were going to play Necro.
Don't make me pull out my Necro, brother.
Oh, that's the third record.
The Necro is right here somewhere. But anyways, so I know that this takes me back to, what is this, 2001?
I want to say like 99.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe 98.
But it's in that general zone for sure.
I know that has to take you back right there.
I mean, it takes me back on a lot of different levels. Absolutely, there was records that we had or the other one didn't have. But since we DJ together, and I'm always talking about how much more fun it is to DJ with your friends and your partners versus alone, even though whatever, that's just like the normal scene. But this one specifically takes me to the time when hip hop was like finally becoming, not finally, but becoming again mainstream. So you had a lot of groups who was trying to like appeal to a different sound, but also be their own, their identity people knew. And I think a lot of people got lost in that transition. And my first reaction to when you pulled this out, other than to Find a Way, was I actually did not like this record because it did not sound like all the other Tribe records. It was definitely, in my opinion, when I first heard it, like an attempt to be mainstream, and it just really wasn't in the Tribe Called Quest character to like try hard like that to do it.
Right.
Now that's also when Tribe was beefing, and you know, you had Dilla kind of entering the scene, and you had Consequence kind of like, that's when all that drama kind of was starting. So now I kind of look back on it thinking this was Q-Tip trying to evolve.
Yes.
And then you had Dilla, who I think is the one who produced Find a Way.
Yeah, he did. He's pretty much all over this album.
So I didn't like the Dilla productions on this new commercial sounding record.
Really?
And now Dilla, I mean, you talk to any hip hop head, any beat head, Dilla's like the all-time favorite, but I didn't like it because that was not what Tribe sounded like. And if you watch any interviews with Q-Tip, Q-Tip is blown away, and even like De La Soul is blown away by all these J Dilla beats.
Right.
But it was different than their sound. But Find a Way at that point and at that time, whether it was a underground hip hop club or a hip hop club trying to get jiggy, it banged. So it always worked, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And that's why this reminded me of you. And I actually bought this record because I didn't have the single. I couldn't find it. And it was very hard to find at the time. The tracks that I would play on here was Rock Y'all.
Yeah.
That was more of the hip hop kind of track with Mos Def was on there. Punchline and Wordsworth are actually on this album. And I think Pat and the Pen was your joint too, wasn't it?
Yeah, Pat and the Pen was another one that was like, it could go both ways. It was a good like kind of club, but also underground flavor. The Love. That's actually a really dope song, even though it's like a half a song at the time. It ages well.
Just like this beer, it ages well.
But at the time, I didn't like it.
That's a fact. And this is another thing, just like maybe the first time you tried the Belgian beer in the basement, maybe it didn't hit for you.
Yeah.
But now as we age, our palate changes, and maybe you like a bourbon or a fine wine or some stuff maybe you didn't like before. And that goes back with hip hop. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is A Tribe Called Quest, the Love Movement, people. There it is. With no sleeves, by the way.
That's Catch-22 style right there.
And you know, Catch-22
beat up records, scratches.
We just play them. We don't buy them to put them on the shelf.
Even though these are on the shelf.
Exactly.
Different,
you know what I mean.
Different time.
We got time for one more.
Okay. I'm excited. Those are two very good, very different records. So
let me take a sip of this first.
I'll say one more thing too about some people did. I didn't really do, but I remember when people would cover up the records. I think you did it.
Yes.
They would cover up the records because they didn't want the other DJs to know that record. We
didn't want them to know what the song was.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted to be exclusive back then. You know, I would fly to New York and buy white labels, which I still have some. And then I would come back. I'm the only person in the city that has this. I'm going to put it on my mixtape. It was all about being exclusive with your music back then. So I think that mentality that we're talking about stems from hip hop in general, whether it's a b-boy move, whether it's your tag on the wall. It had to be different, original. And I think that's where I'm at even as an adult, like with something like this. You feel me?
Yep.
So am I the only person in Houston or in Texas with this? Possibly. And that's just something, it's just a mind frame.
Yeah. And it's the flavor, right? You know, it's like, this is my flavor. Like, we should be
original.
Because that's a spice of life. Like, if everybody's the same and all. And no disrespect, but that's like when I go to the bar and everybody orders Michelob Ultra. Like, it's not that good.
On this show, Catch, you are allowed to disrespect Michelob Ultra.
Okay,
don't be scared, man, because they're not watching, man. They're not watching. But not feel you on that. Let's move on to record number 3, man. This is the final one.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
He probably already knows what it is. He probably doesn't think I have this record, people. You don't think I had this one, did you?
I already know. Hey,
he knew it was coming, y'all.
Hey, before we tell this story,
he knew it was coming.
He always tells this story,
but now it's going on YouTube.
He loves to tell this story about me, and that's okay.
But now it's
because
going
he's my
on YouTube,
he's my brother. I allow him to tell this story. It's a true story. It's a story I'm not very proud of, but it did happen.
After he tells the story, I'll give him some props. Because there is some props that I will give you after you tell the story.
Okay.
I tell it better, but we'll let him tell it today.
It's funny, I did a post on Instagram recently where I posted the flyer of the event that this happened at, and I was really geeked. First off, shout out to PNS. He's another one that's like always shown love. In the mid 90s, I was just still a little punk kid. And he'd be spinning, and he was just like cool. Like there was no air of anything. He was just cool. So I asked him if he would spin this party with us, because originally it was just going to be Real and I. And I was like, man, we're trying to get people out. And I don't even remember. He also like always took all my mixtapes and put them in gramophone.
He did.
Like he just showed love like that. So props to PNS. I don't know if you ever see this, but props to you anyway. And I think it was the gramophone connection. That's probably why I had contact with him. But also, he's the one who helped me put this record. He's the one who pushed this single in Japan through Crosstalk, where he worked at the time. But
can I say one thing about PNS before you continue?
Yeah.
I just want to give him a shout out on my end, because my old DJ name was DJ Realness. Okay, so I was called DJ Realness. That's how I introduced myself before I was DJ Real One. To this day, haven't been at a PNS party in a minute, but every time I would walk in, within 30 minutes, he would throw on Group Home's The Realness.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
And then he would like, hey, The Realness, you know, and like shout me out by playing The Realness. So anyways, shout out PNS.
Yeah,
man.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So anyway, PNS agrees to spin. I don't think I actually remember seeing him. I think he came later, but I don't remember. But anyway,
well, hopefully he wasn't there for that.
He was on the fly. I don't think he was there for these hijinks.
We're gonna get into it. Yeah.
Jay-Z at the time was like an interesting situation. You know, he had the originators.
Can we tell him what we're talking about? What record we're talking about?
I thought you showed him.
Surprise him.
I thought you showed him.
Well, just let's introduce him one more time.
Okay.
Jay-Z and UGK. Shout out Houston. This all comes full circle. Big Pimpin' from 2000.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 2000, 2001 for sure. So we're at the club, and this place was like interesting. I'd never seen a DJ setup like this before. The DJ setup was like on a second floor, and it looked down to the actual dance floor, which is on the first floor. So you're kind of like perched up, and you can see everybody dancing or not dancing or whatever. And I don't even know what we were playing at the time. Some hip hop stuff.
It was probably, you know, let's say what was out in 2000, maybe Annie Up,
or
maybe like Mobb Deep,
or Mos Def, right?
That was Miss Fat Booty. Pharoah Monch.
That type. So stuff that like people were out dancing to, but it was still like primarily based in
kind
like
of boom bap, but
East
more
Coast,
catchy. De La Soul, like the Tribe.
The same era where people were trying to like do this crossover thing. And me and myself, truth be told, I was also trying to do this crossover thing, like, and I think I got a rep for that a little bit, at least in the club scene, where I was appealing to the hip hop heads, but then I was making it kind of dancey and like trying to, you know, keep the ladies there.
He would make the ladies dance. That's what his job was. I'll come on first. So in this story, I came on first. So I'm almost like the opening act. I'll play that. Basically everything he said. I'm playing Pharoah Monch, I'm playing MOP, I'm playing Grand Puba, and then it's his turn to go on. So basically I'm, you know, getting the crowd kind of warmed up, and they're out there, they're dancing too.
It was a good time. It was a good time. So we were talking about, you know, like getting people out on the dance floor, but also having like exclusive records. So when I got this record, again, I was kind of talking about Jay-Z, like he came out more of a, definitely like a boom bap 90s, you know, middle school type
he's
flow.
Along the same lines of Nas at that time.
Right.
You know?
And then he went the Rockefeller route, and then it was like all commercial hip hop, right? So when I got this record, I wasn't necessarily a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah. You just knew you had an exclusive record.
I had an exclusive Jay-Z record. I don't think anybody else, at least that I knew, had it. And I listened to it, and it was like...
I never heard this part of the story, by the way.
Okay.
I've never heard this, people.
All right.
I did not know he listened to it.
I listened to it, yes. That's funny.
That's the crazy part of this whole story.
I listened to it, and I was like, this is different, like really different. Like from how the beat was constructed, the tempo, and I really couldn't mix the record with anything else because all of the other records was on 4/4 time, and they were like 90 to 98 beats per minute, and this was like 70 something beats per minute. And all the Serato DJs, if you ever load this up, it'll say 70 whatever. There's lots of 77, 68 BPM records now, but at the time there wasn't really anything.
The only thing comparable to a 68 BPM record would be like a Do or Die, Crucial
I was gonna
Conflict,
say Dirty South type
like,
stuff,
yeah,
early
yeah, exactly.
Outkast,
right?
You know, that kind.
Right.
Yeah,
which we weren't playing in Chicago
Right.
in the club environment.
Right.
You know?
Really wasn't playing it even in
Right.
any environment.
Maybe
I
in
mean,
the car, maybe,
like,
you know, but
Players Ball wasn't even being played on like WGCI,
Right.
which was like a huge
Right.
hit. It was like what made
but
Outkast
basically
famous.
slow
Yeah.
tempo hip hop is not the thing at that
Yeah.
era.
Maybe here in Houston it was, right? Because then
True,
you had
true.
Screw and
Well,
all
UGK
that.
was big
Yeah.
when this came out,
Yeah.
like with this collab.
So I listened to it. I actually did really like the beat. The rhymes are like, okay, Jay-Z's Jay-Z. He's going to do his normal rhyme thing. So we get to the club. So I'm like, all right. The club was kind of like commercial clubby looking. Real One was doing his thing. People were dancing. Jay-Z was popular. So I felt like I could take this chance.
So it's my last song. I said, "Oh, you ready to go?" He said, "Yeah, I'm ready to go. I got something queued up." I see it. Okay, Jay-Z, that's what's up. He got some new exclusive. I'm ready for it. He gonna turn up. So yeah. So I'm ready for this record.
So I put this record on. Like I said, you couldn't blend it because it was such different beats. So I don't know if I faded it out. I don't know if I cut it. I can't remember how I started playing it. And this didn't happen to me very often when we DJ together.
Never happens.
Beat comes on.
In
You know how it goes.
case they forgot.
I clear the floor. Like, clear it.
Well, what did you do?
I was embarrassed as heck. See, I can tell the truth. And I ducked down to hide.
Bro.
My man.
And I'm just like,
still standing up
standing there.
I didn't do that part on purpose. That just kind of happened.
I'm just standing. Everybody turns around and like looking at me, and I didn't. And I just kind of gave a shrug, like, and I'm looking around, and my guy's right there, like, what are you doing, man?
So originally I was embarrassed, and then I thought that's not cool. But then panic set in because I was trying to find another record.
if anything, in your defense, I think what might have happened, maybe you didn't duck down. Years later, maybe you didn't duck down. Maybe the crates were down there, and you saw it and kind of said, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Like, let me grab something else.
Well, I was embarrassed, so I felt guilty no matter what. So I got to be truthful with the people.
Thank
you, know
you,
what
sir.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
So I apologize publicly. Like I said, I've told this story a million times. He loves for me to tell the story.
And this is our
All
first
good.
time telling it in public that y'all can enjoy this story.
That's recorded.
And did you think I owned this record? After that experience,
Yeah,
would you think I would have that?
Yeah, because that was the time when we start actually getting promo records.
Yeah.
And then like I was like interning at Shrewd, so like I was kind of getting. That's actually I think how I got the record.
So for the record, the reason I have this, you probably gave it to me, and the B-side is a smash.
Oh yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the Annie sample. So
No, that's Hard Knock Life.
But
this one. Yeah,
also,
that one too. That one too.
Hard Knock Life was a smash, and then they followed it up with
Yeah.
this, which is hilarious. Looking at this today, the single is Anything.
True.
And the B-side
is
Club
Big
Anthem,
Pimpin'.
Big Pimpin'. That's hilarious.
It says Club Anthem though. They were right. They predicted it.
Now let me tell you something. With that story being said,
Well, one last thing I'll say, which is probably the obvious thing to say. Obviously, huge record. So in my own defense, I picked right. I was ahead of my time. That's all I gotta say.
and I was just about to give you props for that. You did it. So that's what I was going to give you props for.
thank you,
20
sir.
years later. Actually, 25 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Gee. 25 years later.
I could just hear this beat in the background of this story right now.
That's the funny thing. So listeners, like just imagine like Mos Def, Pharoah Monch, Redman, Brand Nubian playing, and everybody's vibing, dancing, and then all of a sudden it's like if a record is equal to a record going like. So basically, what I would like to say 25 years later is I give this man props for being a trendsetter when it wasn't popular. And he would take the risk of playing records, which you can't do now.
Yeah.
It's harder to do. It's harder to do today. So with that being said, I would like to give you your props now, man, for being an excellent DJ in those eras.
Hey, same to you.
Yes.
Same to you. We it was definitely it was the 1-2 punch. I made a flyer that said that on one of our events, and we vibed off each other. We competed in a friendly way with one another. We had arguments. But it's all good. It's over 25 years later. So much props to you too, sir.
I appreciate that. And hopefully in a future episode, if you guys enjoy this episode, man, I never say this, but I'm going to say it today just for fun. Comment below Subscribe, click that like button.
Smash that subscribe
Smash
button.
that button, you know what I'm saying? But real talk, man, you know, I do this for fun. I like to get our stories out there. Shout out DJ Soundwave. Shout out my guy Tim. Shout out Mr. Smoke Shop. And of course, most importantly, Pugs Adams and all of the Chicago artists that we've mentioned today. And if we didn't mention you, shout out the whole Chi City, because even though we are now here in Texas, we are Chicago to the core, at our heart, and it's always here, man. We will never forget these amazing stories. And with that being said, I would like to ask one more time, since this is an episode about beer, as it warms up, how do you feel about it now? It seems like you're drinking it faster than me, so you must like it.
It's been a long week, y'all. No, probably about the same. I think... like I said, it's surprisingly light. I thought for maybe a dark beer, especially one that had the higher alcohol content, it would kind of hit. But it's surprisingly light. Like I could see being outside on the deck, enjoying this. You know,
for sure.
Kind of like a blonde ale, but not a blonde ale. You know what I mean? Yeah,
for sure. So once again, people, this is the St. Bernardus AB 12 Magnum Edition. Man, this thing weighs about 5 pounds. Do you want to lift that up real quick, man? You ain't got to pour it. Just feel that thing.
Yeah, that's got some weight to it. Yeah. I'm curious about this art piece right here.
I was hoping he would ask. We were getting into the hip hop, but now before we bounce, we're gonna tell you about this art piece. So the original artwork from Burt Ramakers, it was around the world in 80 years. Now it was originally a photograph by this Belgian artist. Now they decided to put it into a painting form for this special edition bottle. Jay-Z. Big Pimpin'. We got the Love Movement, and of course, Pounds Up, man. So if you see kids doing that in the street, you know they saw our episode, man, because we created that.
And more importantly, go peep that Pounds Up. Turn it on 10.
And before we bounce, is there anything that you would like to promote, or just tell the people what you got going on right now?
Yeah, the theme is History This Show, new Brazen and Catch-22 album that really started my recording and beat making and trial and error and recording on the back porch of our apartment in Humboldt Park. So finally, over 25 years later, just like kind of the rest of our story we've been talking about today, putting out the new finished product, new beats, some of the original beats, chopped some things up, you know what I mean, was ready. And like I said, my first real project. So here it is out for y'all, the people, 25 years later. Aged fine, just like this brew. And this partnership right here. So
and this partnership is over 25 years. And it's always a pleasure when you join me, whether it's in Chicago with no camera, we sit in the basement, whether it's in San Antonio, Kansas City, we are all over the map, man.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, go check out all of Headnock Records recordings, whether it's mine, DJ Real One, or Catch-22. That is DJ CACHE22. Let me just put that out in the world. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Belgian Beer and Beats with my homie Catch-22. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Peace. Catch-22, Catch-20 who? Headnock Records. Yeah, you know how we do. No, it was about to be a diss, but it's not. I saw the camera, so you know I gotta make it hot. I give a pound to the one and only OG, because this is how we do it in the streets, B.
Yo, I got 8 seconds to do this. I'm about to knock you clueless. Over the acapella, leave you a fool this. Yo, we went to Columbia College, but I don't think you got your degree.
Wait a minute.